I guess they didn't want to hear your presentation, Joe. At this time, Joe has a presentation he met with the finance committee and put together. Budget, he's going to give you guys a breakdown on what the budget will look like for 2015.
Thank you. What you have in front of you is the 2015 preliminary budget. We're required by law to pass this tonight, and it has to be available for 10 days for the public to view before we can pass the final budget. What I did was, what it reflects tonight is that the general fund, the real estate taxes will stay the same, 6.1 mils. There'll be no increase in taxes. The trash fee will remain the same, $175 a year, and your sewer charge of $6.15 per 1,000 gallons of water used will remain the same. Just to highlight some things, there's increases in salaries for the union and non-union employees. The union, of course, is by contract, our public works and our police. Non-union is not by contract, that's the one we have control over. I have $150,000 budgeted for debt service as we look to get a street sweeper, a dump truck, and a fire truck. There's a 7.1% increase in our health insurance per our insurance broker, A.J. Gallagher. There's a 5% increase in all our other insurances, workers' comp, property and casualty, errors and emissions. And there's a 4% increase in vision. I also have money budgeted for a new police car. We've been doing every year, and it's keeping our maintenance of the cars down, the price down. And there's also an increase in recreation funds for different projects that the council approves. Your sewer fund, pretty much the majority of our sewer money goes to pay Darby Creek and Muckapades, and that's why I have them increased by about 6 or 7%. We might need to look at that next year because processing sewage and moving is getting very expensive, and we may have to adjust our rates accordingly next year. I'm trying to put some money away that we have next year for capital purposes, with any of our sewer lines and so forth. And then our liquid fuel fund, we get liquid fuel money from the state, we can use that for streets. If we have a rough winter, we can use it for salt purchases and snow plowing and so forth. So that's pretty much putting that budget. It's pretty solid, I think, and we'll continue to tweak it until we pass the final budget sometime in December. And I hope I have any questions.
Joe, I don't have any questions. Like I said, myself and Mary Ann met with you beforehand, got the general idea of this budget together. It's a solid budget, like you said. I'll reiterate, no fees are going to be raised. Property taxes will not be going up. And at the end of the year, it looks like we'll be in a good spot. I guess so everyone knows, as of a few years ago, we used to have to take loans here to get from year to year. And we've eliminated that. We have a nice surplus. I think we're working with a decent budget right now. Folcroft financially is doing well for itself. One of the shortfalls that we had, I think we're going to rectify tonight. We were able to figure out a way to get revenue from folks that work in town and don't live here, as well as people who work in other towns in Delaware County, that their tax dollars will go into that particular town. And you'll see tonight, later on tonight, we have a vote for the earned income tax. By us bringing that back to 1%, the folks that work in Yaden or work in media will then have their money come back to Folcroft, which, in talking to a lot of residents, is important to them. They'd rather see the money come here. We need the money. We need to get fire trucks. Joe said we need to get some equipment for the highway as far as plowing and things like that. So I think, Joe, you did a real nice job on this.
Thank you. The earned income tax also doesn't affect the seniors because they have unearned income. So it makes a lot of sense that most of the towns are going to the 1% earned income tax, and we're losing money on that. Also, our business fruits tax has done pretty well in the industrial park collections of that. So I appreciate your confidence.
Yeah, and we've been getting aggressive with that, making sure that those taxes are coming in, and it's been very helpful. So, Joe, when we get to new business, we'll make a motion to pass the preliminary budget.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right, public participation. I believe Mr. Donnelly signed up.
Yes.
Floor is yours.
The only question I have is, back, and I don't know who was mayor when the law was changed where you can't put cyclone fence up in the front of the houses. I have no problem with not being put up in the front of the houses, across the front of the houses. The problem I'm having is I'd like to divide my house from another house. going up the side yard. Now, I understand you're allowed from the property line, or from the wall, back,
Front
to
wall,
the
you
back
know?
of the house, front of your house wall, to the back you're allowed. But what I need to know why I can't put a fence up from the wall to the top of the hill. Divide the two properties on the line. I understand I could put a retaining wall up and put plants and stuff in it. I can go 4 foot with that, which looks pretty stupid. But I can't put a clear through cyclone fence up, which I'm not putting it across the front, I'm not putting no gates, I'm not blocking it. I'm just blocking people from running across onto my property. I've been having a lot of trouble
Did you
with.
talk to John about this? And John said
Yeah, he said I could put a wall up.
And here's what because I just sent someone else over to talk to him. My understanding was, and if it isn't, it's something we may have to take a look at, because you're not the first one this week to bring it up. Folks that wanna actually have a divide between, whether it's their, kids running across their lawn, or whatever the case may be, to have a divider. My understanding, which, if you talk to John and tell him he's incorrect, is that you could put something up as long as you didn't enclose the front yard. And he's telling you that's not the case. But you can put up a retaining wall, it doesn't,
Yes, it doesn't
what you're
make
saying
sense.
doesn't make a lot of sense.
So I can put a 4x4 wall up, as long as I put a plant or something in it, that's good to go. But I can't put a cyclone fence up that air and everything else can go through.
Right.
And like I said before, I'm not going across the front of the house. On my property at 1528, I have one on both sides of my property, going all the way out to where the hill was. And it's been there for years, before they passed that law where you can't put a fence up out front. I've always had it on both sides of my house, to divide my property from other people's. Because you do get we do have a lot of kids in the neighborhood that just like run.
Right.
And they run up, they slide down the hills and everything else like that. I have other reasons why, and it's not your problem. But I'd like to put a divider up between one of my properties. Only up to the hill.
Right. I mean, I can tell you, I'm dead set against having the front yards enclosed, just because I've seen when it's done in other towns that have gone that way. But what you're talking about is a completely different thing.
It is. We're
And
not
actually,
opposed-
visually, when you're looking at the front of the house, you can't even tell someone has a divider.
No, I was gonna bring pictures of it.
Yeah.
There's no sense, because you can't see it. You
So,
take a picture out front of the house, you really don't pay attention to the fence, because you can't see it, it's not across the face, the front of the house.
so I want to talk with John, our code inspection, and find out if there's anything that we can do there with the ordinance. If not, then maybe it's something that we have to discuss as a council, on making it, more of a common sense ordinance. Because it's not common sense to tell you can have a 4-foot wall.
Yeah, I don't wanna go put hedges up,
Yeah, no,
which I'm
I
allowed
get
to
you.
do.
Let me look into it, and then if not, we might have to bring it back in December and discuss it in a committee meeting to see what we can do. Because again, you're not the first one this week, and it makes total sense to me. So we'll bring it up in a committee meeting, discuss it with all the council people, and see what we can do.
Sure.
All right?
Thanks.
Thank
And
you.
just for your information, I don't have the book with me, but I looked it up myself. It was in the 80s when they passed it.
Well, that's right, I know it was back
86,
way,
Yeah,
way back.
oh yeah.
A lot of things have
I looked
changed
at it.
since
Before my time.
It might have been 4.
6.
Six.
He was older than that.
Yeah.
In the eighties.
Okay, in your package, you guys got the minutes for the October committee and council meeting. I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
Motion.
It's been motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Also in your packet, you got a copy of the borough bill list. Is there any questions on the borough bill list? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept the borough bill list.
Motion.
The motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Council President report, dealing with preliminary budget and all that stuff, I don't need to take any more time up with that. I will, however, move on to, I do want to say thank you to the Recreation Committee for the ornament workshop you guys had this weekend. It was a nice job out there. All right?
Tom, before you go in, can I
just thank everybody for their thoughts and prayers for the past week, for the past 2 weeks. My mom passed away, so I just want to thank everyone for the thoughts, their prayers, beautiful flowers. Just thank you. Thank you for being there for me.
Absolutely. Moving on to staff reports, there's a few motions I'll entertain at this time. The first being the code red. This is something that we discussed in the last 2 committee meetings. I think it's been actually 3 now. We have this system that we're able to alert emergencies, whether it be a police emergency, a FEMA emergency, to the residents. It was a contract that council entered into. It was supposed to be $3,500 a year. Turns out our old administrator that was here changed that contract. It's actually up to $5,100. And I've been in contact with them. Linda has. Danny White has also stepped up front on this and talked to this Code Red outfit, who said that we're under contract for 2 more years at this $5,100. However, it will allow us to extend the contract for 1 year at 38 change. Right. 38 change, but that would also give us access to use this system to be able to robocall at no additional charge for things like the tree ornaments. We have coming up this weekend in the recreation, we have the tree lighting and different community events, as well as a couple other things we talked about is, you know, when there's snow down there, we're going to put out calls to tell people not to leave their chairs and trash cans out on the street or else it will be collected. So I think at this time, after going back and forth with this, I would entertain a motion to extend that contract for 1 year at the $3,800 and leave the, allow us to have unlimited calls.
Mr. President, if I can just add one thing. John McLean and I spoke this afternoon about the contract, and as he was flipping through it, he noticed that there is an automatic renewal language that concerned him. So if council's inclined to approve the contract, if you could do so subject to the approval of the solicitor. Because we've negotiated a similar contract with Millwood, where that language was modified and softened a little bit, just because it is 2 years from now if you want to get out and it's automatically kicking in.
Great. Well, if council is so inclined to extend that a year, get that over to John. So anyhow, at this time, I would entertain a motion for the Code Red.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So the motion carries and we'll send it over to John and take a look at the language. At this time, I'd like to kick it over to Aaron. Aaron's here from RCN. Aaron's been in here for, you know, a couple.
Excuse me?
Yes,
I was going to make a motion to have RCN as our network.
that's, okay. I'll entertain that motion, but Aaron just asked if you could say a few words before we did that.
And thank you for the floor, Jason. Essentially, again, Aaron Andrews from RCN Business. Just kind of letting you guys know that, you know, we're here, we're not going anywhere. RCN hasn't had that much of a presence in the Delaware County area, but now that I've been here over the past year, we've actually, not to keep my number, we've exceeded goals by 90% this year under my regime. So, you know, kind of pushing RCN and letting our customers and friends know that we're here and this is the way that you carry business. You come to meetings, you do what you say you're going to do all the time, and you help out in the community. I actually live in Reading, so, you know, I come down to these meetings because it's what I'm going to do. You know, I tell you what I'm going to do, and I come down here and I do that. So we're just trying to show you that we want your business and we're here to help you out. We're not going to be like the other providers where, you know, you call them and once you've signed up, they won't assist you anymore, they won't return your phone calls. If you call us and you say, look, I need you here, we're here, my office is 22 minutes away. You know, we can be here, and Nick actually lives down here in the area. One of us can be here if need be. We roll trucks right out of Havertown if there's service issues. We haven't had any service issues. I've been here since March of 2013, and none of my customers have called and said, Aaron, we're out. There was an issue that was brought up with Norwood, and they're going through some growing pains as far as learning how to use the system properly, but that's being, you know, monitored and taken care of with them. We actually have 2 letters, one from East Lansdowne Borough, which is a borough that we did, of recommendation. Also, we just did Darby's new Borough facility with a recommendation from Joe's brother, Mark. We did their entire facility, and we did the wiring in that brand-new two-story facility for the police and the borough. So we're here, you know, if there's issues, we're here to grow with you through any kind of issues. I mean, no one's perfect, but we try to be, you know, near close. So, you know, any questions, I can give out my business card, and I'm always available. You know, RCN's here.
Again, and that's the important one, is that you're always available, because that's trouble with the system we have now, and having access is important. We spoke, gave me a guarantee that if something's wrong, the trucks will roll out here and get us up and running.
Correct.
Too big to not have phones operating and the residents calling in and getting busy signals. And I know it's hard on Laura and Linda. Chief, I don't know how the phones are working up in your spot, if you guys are affected, but down here it's been a little chaotic lately.
It's hit and miss.
Yeah, so this is good. So with that, Larry,
I will make a motion, RCN Network to be in our borough.
is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Next thing under finance and admin is our engineer situation. We talked at committee meeting, and the reason I'm explaining all this is we didn't have this many people at the committee meeting. I'd just like to let you guys know what we talked about. I've noticed when I first got on council that we had an engineer in Catania Engineering, and Lisa was here. Lisa was able to come in to meetings. She was able to get grants for us. She did a real nice job. And when the politics changed a little bit, they went a different way with a different engineer. I think I have a better working relationship with Lisa. I know council does, and I know she really works hard for the borough. So what we discussed is retaining Catania Engineering effective immediately, and I would entertain a motion to do so.
I'd just like to say, as past president, Lisa was the best, hands down. So with that, I'd like to make a motion to replace Remington, Vernick and Associates with Catania Engineering as the Folcroft Borough Engineer.
It's been motion, I'll hear a second.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Moving on to fire and police,
I don't have anything.
we have the crossing.
Oh, I have the crossing guard. Wait a minute.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to hire Ronnie Painter as a crossing guard substitute.
The motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. I believe Ronnie's in the room, right? All right, would you like to swear him in?
Hey, Ron.
I state your name,
I, Ronnie Painter,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will discharge my duties
and I will discharge my duties
as crossing guard
as crossing guard
for the Borough of Folcroft
for the Borough of Folcroft
with fidelity,
with fidelity,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
All right. Yeah, moving on. Recreation?
Okay, we had our ornament workshop yesterday. Could have been better, but whoever turned out, we had a good time. The Christmas tree lighting will be this Saturday at 7 p.m. At the clock tower. We're gonna have like refreshments and, you know, baked goods after. And of course, Santa and Mrs. Claus will be there. Girls Club, we talked about, but I don't, do we have to do anything about that at this meeting? I don't have the dates in front of me. The use of
Just
the
approval
gym.
for them to use the gym.
I think it was from until March. from now until March
Right.
2015.
You'd like to make a motion for
I'd
that?
like to make a motion for the use of the Borough Gym for the girls' clothes from now up until March 2015.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Very nice. And there's some new lights going up this year, right, for the Christmas tree? It's gonna look nice up there.
Yes.
You guys went out?
Decorating is going well. We're almost done. Friday we're gonna finish up, and I thank everybody for their help. We're ahead of the game.
Kind of beat the weather this year, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice job. Nice job. Police chief?
That's
Got a
all I have.
report for us?
That's all I have.
It's very good, man. That's.
It's hard to top that anyway.
Really. You know, I mean, you know, it goes to show you, meeting after meeting, we hear what these officers do. They go above and beyond. We're really lucky to have the police force we have. They really do a good job, chief. That's it. Because of your leadership as well. Thank you. Old business?
Huh?
Highway.
Do you have any?
And library, and library. Library has something, Jason.
If there's nothing next to the minutes, that's it. You don't get a chance. All right.
Well, then we need a minute.
Let's start with library first. We're gonna go to library first.
Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
I would like to make a motion to approve hiring Joanne Kindebrew for the library. She already started working because we were shorthanded, so I just need to approve it.
It's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Is she here by any chance? Well, congratulations.
I definitely.
Mayor?
Okay, under highway, I talked to Charlie Frank today from Bucks Excavating about the sinkhole at the top of Grant Road. And I'd like to make a motion to repair the sinkhole on Grant Road by Buck Frank Excavating Company with repairs not to exceed $10,000. And the reason for that is if it's a patch job, it could be 3. If it involves the sewer, it could run like 95, so, but it will not exceed 10,000, he said. It'll be under 10,000.
Is that all in motion?
No, just the motion is not to exceed the
Yes,
10,000.
okay. There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Go ahead, you do.
And I have
Let's
Tony
deal with the other
Morado,
ones.
he's doing Ayer, he's taking a look at that, and the one that's actually in front of my place, around something there again, so. He said he can get around to looking at them, and we'll see what's the problem, okay? But I got a feeling it's gonna be sewer, just like the one down the other end of Shamrock, unfortunately.
All right. So no action at this time, Lynn?
No action, I haven't got a call back from him.
Okay.
He's been actually very busy between, family problems also, so,
Gotcha.
no.
All right.
The other thing that you and I discussed was with impending snow,
Yes,
that if our highway guys,
yes,
need the extra help until we get this dump truck, that,
yes.
Buck Frank and Ernell will be called out to help them.
If we exceed over that snow limit where snow is too high on the curbs and we can't see traffic and it's going to be a hazard, we will go into Joe,
Emergency mode,
emergency snow removal. Let's pray we don't ever have that again.
maybe it won't snow.
I'm sure he's got a stash for
Yeah,
that.
I'm sure we can figure something.
It's not
Some of the
gonna snow,
furniture.
it's gonna,
Okay? I don't need nobody getting killed in an intersection because they didn't see the person on the other side of the big snow. Okay?
hopefully we go with the predictions,
Yeah.
we're saying not as bad as last
Yeah,
year,
okay.
so.
All right, you can believe that.
That's why it's still Wednesday.
Building, you want me to do building while I'm chatting away? The heater was fixed, I did come in here Sunday. I did check the pothole, ran. Yes, both heaters were running in the gym. Okay, it was at 67 degrees when I left. I did turn it down to 65. They're both running.
Wasn't 78 outside?
No, actually, it was pretty warm on Sunday, Saturday.
Is that the fan with the?
Yeah, that was the exhaust fan. And when it goes, it automatically shuts the system down, so carbon monoxide does not get involved. So, it was under warranty. It's great.
At least something
Yeah.
is.
Me and Bob. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
It's fixed, it's fixed.
Does anyone have anything on their health or insurance? See nothing? Is there anything from the solicitor? Very good. Okay, moving on to old business.
I would like to motion to approve ordinance number 2014-04 to establish the rate of the earned income taxation at 1% for tax year 2015 and thereafter pursuant to the Pennsylvania Local Tax Enabling Act.
All right, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Seconded.
It's been motion and second. You guys all have a copy of the ordinance in front of you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. One other thing under old business, I will entertain a motion to change December's meeting to the second Tuesday for committee and the third Wednesday for council. I reached out to everyone, the solicitor, I reached out to Joe. It's gonna be easier for everyone to make that meeting, and with that being our budget meeting, I'd like to change it. And I'll entertain that motion first.
Motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And in your package, you all have a copy of the 2015 meeting schedule. And I will entertain a motion to advertise that. Is it? Okay. All right, well, in my packet, I have a copy of the 2015
I went through that, and I didn't see no schedule.
Basically what it is, guys, it doesn't interfere with any holidays. It'll be the second Tuesday and the third Wednesday of each month for 2015. And we'll keep it at that, so we'll keep changing.
And you're gonna give us a copy, right?
We'll get a copy. It's on your way.
My mailbox, I think is the highway report for everybody. Yeah, it should have went here, but yeah, these are my mailbox. Thank you.
And so I'll entertain a motion.
I'll
Motion.
second it.
You two are tough today. Thank God for Larry, I'll tell you that.
I heard.
I'm just
Second?
thinking of the
Is there a
meetings,
second?
that's why, why motion, and he seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second
Motion
I heard.
passes.
Wednesday, got it.
There's a lot going on.
Is there any other old business? Is there any other new business? I'll entertain a motion to approve the preliminary budget.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Hearing no other new business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're going back to the drawing board, council.